was time to leave Lake Cootharabra. I'd come in search of the Arcturians, the Andromedas, and these other extraterrestrial cultures that I'd learnt about. But the best I got was that one night when I was looking out, there was lots of lights flashing over the lake. Were they extraterrestrials? Who would know? Could have been lightning. As long as there's a scientific reason why it could be so, I kind of give it to it. So here I am leaving the campgrounds. They had these little huts over here on the right that were quite beautiful. I think they're only about 120 a night or something. Maybe a bit more, but yeah, as I was getting closer to the city and population, a lot of these campgrounds had keys for entry to get through the gates. And so as I was leaving early, I had to drop it off into the little thing. I was pretty excited to be heading to North Stradbroke Island. There'd be a ferry journey in the process. And look at her. Look at Franny. Gee, she's a good motorbike. And off we went along the dirt to head to the Bruce Highway, unfortunately, to be able to get to North Stradbroke Island. I'd questioned whether to go there or not because I had to head through the city to get there, but I thought it was worth it. So here I am going past the Everglades, the flooded grasslands. These trees are just amazing. It's almost like they all clumped together. Now I did contemplate going to Serene Point first. So I took the track, not really knowing where I was going to end up, apart from that being Stradbroke. Oh yeah, this kangaroo, he jumped out of nowhere. I didn't even see him until I looked back on the footage, to tell you the truth. But as I was leaving early, I needed to be aware of the kangaroos and wildlife. I decided not to go into Serene Point because it looked like rain was coming. And I thought, well, if I'm going to have to do a water crossing on a ferry, I better get there sooner than later. Otherwise, it might get a bit rough, and I'm not sure about what happens with tying bikes down on ferries and everything. And so I decided to head straight for the ferry. And so the GPS took me along this course towards Tawantin. Once again, the forest was just amazing. It came right up to the road. It was just so lush. I really like this shot because of the way the sun shone through the trees. Yeah, it's just beautiful. I mean, look at the colours, the rays of the sun. It's just absolutely beautiful. And then I'd come into, I think this was Tawantin. And so suddenly there was lots of traffic, lots of roundabouts, and I was heading to Noosa Heads. I got an idea that I thought I'd head along the coastline so I could show you the ocean. And so I stopped to have a look at the GPS to see how best I could stick to the coast and so get some good scenic shots. And so when I looked at it, there wasn't actually a road that joined Coolum Beach to Noosa Heads. I'd have to go inland a bit to be able to get back to the beach. So I took the last road I could find to follow the Noosa River before I'd have to go inland. And here I am at Coolum. I'd arrived at Coolum, but there were so many tourists everywhere, I couldn't believe it. And so I'd remembered a coffee shop I went to years ago. I didn't know if it'd still be there, but I went through the back streets and came to it, and there it was. Okay, made it to Coolum Beach. This is my old area I used to love coming. And down on the beach, as you saw, chocker busy with tourists, but there's this really cool little coffee shop I'm at. Down here, I'm just going to toilet. Oh, another coffee shop. And peak hour traffic's happening, so I've got a few hours to kill. I don't know where the toilet is. I'll have a look over here. There it is. So I left Coolum and started heading for the Bruce Highway. Not looking forward to it, but, you know, part of the story. And then the rain just started pouring down. I couldn't believe it. And so I pulled over to get petrol and have a think about what I was going to do. Because going to an island when it was going to be raining the whole time wasn't really something I was looking forward to. So I stopped and got petrol, wrote to my son, and kind of made a decision that I'd head to his place in Woodford and call it a day. This was the last few days I had left down on the east coast before I needed to return home for my other son's birthday and to catch up with my grandies. And so this is me riding through the Glasshouse Mountains. Absolutely gorgeous, amazing mountains. I've got one more vlog to come where I go and visit the Glasshouse Mountains. And so once again, going through the national park that's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And here comes the turn-offs. As I was turning off, I was wondering if the GPS was going to bring me in the back way to Woodford, which would involve a really long dirt road. And given that it had been raining on and off for a few days, I was a bit anxious about taking this dirt road. But I've been making a pact with myself that I need to deal with what I fear. And so I kept on riding, went through this beautiful village, and headed in the direction I was being taken. And sure enough, it looked like I was going to get taken on the dirt road. As always, I said to myself, just little steps at a time.